Well, good morning. How is everyone this morning? It's bright and early. Did everybody get enough coffee, something to eat? There's plenty back there. Help yourself whenever you'd like. My name is Cindy Caldwell. I am the chair for NOACC this year, taking over for my esteemed colleague Tony, who did it for many years. I'm also the executive director of the Beechwood Chamber. I'd like to thank you all for coming to NOACC's semi-annual Chamber Leadership Board meeting. We've been having this meeting here at Kalahari for several years now. I know this is my third year, I believe. So we would like to take a moment to thank Kalahari for all of their welcoming support that they give us and for putting everything together. We appreciate that. I'd also like to thank Steve Petty and Matt from New Image Media for videotaping today's event. They will be putting it up on the NOACC website soon. All of the meetings are put there, and it's really nice because that way if you miss the meeting or if you'd like to show that to your board members, that type of thing, that is available to do that. I was trying to read what you have up here. We'd like to welcome all the chambers that are here today. There are at least 35 from across the state of Ohio, so we appreciate everyone coming from near and far to be with us this morning. If I didn't get a chance to meet with you, I think I caught pretty much everyone on the way in. Please find me afterwards. I'd love to be able to meet with you, say hello, that type of thing. There are a few people I haven't met yet. I'd also like to introduce the other officers that we have in NOACC. Obviously, Tony Gallo is our immediate past president. Stand up and say hi, Tony. Tony. Doing his social media part. The treasurer, John Soboleski. He is with Fairview Park, North Coast Regional, North Olmsted, and West Shore Chambers. He's a very busy man. Where are you at, John? He was here. Probably on the phone. Secretary, June Stallnaker. She's with the Towpath Chamber. And in case I missed it, Tony is with the Lorain County Chamber. Shirley Workman, Vice President. She's with the Springfield Lakemore Chamber. And Jerry Vespoli, Vice President from the North Canton Chamber. If you would give them a round of applause, please. There's John in the back. John just walked in. They volunteer their time to bring all of the wonderful programs and resources that NOACC has to offer, so we appreciate all their time. Another introduction I'd like to make, and she'll be coming up soon, is Vicki Hawk. She is the Executive Director of NOACC. Vicki spends an enormous amount of time connecting with all of the NOACC chambers. She travels long hours and many miles to connect with all of us. If you would please show your appreciation for Vicki. I'd like to introduce some of the vendors that we have in attendance this morning. From Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, we have Jane Peterson. If you guys want to raise your hands. Lori Canine, Don Knife, and Nancy Kazenko. Benefits One Group, Mr. Peter Young. I saw him. Here he is. With Community Energy Advisors, Mr. Rick Davidson and Sarah Margolowski. Hopefully I said that right. Very good. Okay. And then Save Local Now, Keith Latour. I think he is probably on his way. We'd also like to thank our sponsor, University Hospitals Comp Care, for providing the $25 gift cards that everyone got this morning. Definitely helps. I know when I filled up this morning, it was $2.39, so it's definitely going up. I would like to introduce Ian Gutner from University's Comp Care to give a sponsor message.
Once again, good morning, everybody. My name is Ann, and I'm with University Hospitals Comp Care. And just want to start out with a few questions. Who knows what MCO stands for? And do you want to say what it stands for? There you go. And who knows when the Bureau of Workers' Compensation established MCOs? Go on, cheat. Right. And what does an MCO do? Okay, I'll tell you. An MCO medically manages workers' compensation claims that come in from an on-the-job work site. And how long has University Hospitals Comp Care been an MCO? 1997. And every 2 years, the Bureau of Workers' Compensation has what they call open enrollment, which allows all the MCOs to solicit business from employers that they switch their MCO and become the solicitor's MCO. And does anybody know when open enrollment is this year? You're cheating. May 2nd to May 27th. So it's a very short period of time. And what is University Hospitals Comp Care? What services do we offer? We have customer service, which includes training and education. We do medical case management, and all our case managers are certified, or they're just regular nurses, registered nurses. We provide relationships with providers and billing, and we do vocational rehabilitation. And we have such superior quality that our service is tailored to the employer's needs. And what happens when you're with University Hospitals Comp Care, you get one account rep. So you always know who to go to for that claim. Or if you have any questions, you go to that account representative. If a claim becomes lost time where an injured worker has missed 8 or more days, it goes to our nurse case manager. And the registered nurses, certified case management, and they will handle the claim. And they will contact you, the injured worker, the provider, give you updates weekly on what's going on in the claim, et cetera, et cetera. And as an account representative, we handle all the incoming first report of injuries, or FROIs. And within a 24-hour period, we're going to contact you, the employer, the injured worker, and the provider to seek the necessary information we need to send that claim on to the Bureau of Workers' Compensation for processing. And we do have an on-site medical director who specializes in occupational health. And again, we have a team approach. We work as a team. And our service, quite frankly, is excellent. You aren't going to find any MCO that offers the type of service that we do. Now, are there any questions you have for me? I hope I can answer them. No? Okay, thank you.
Oh, yes, definitely. Thank Ann for breakfast. We definitely, yeah, that's wonderful. In your packets, the minutes from the October meeting at Windows on the River in Cleveland need to be approved, and the treasurer's report. So if you will take a look through those. Each chamber should have a green folder. If you do not, raise your hand. Jerry has them. Jerry, raise your hand in case someone didn't get their green folder on check-in. The treasurer's report and the minutes will be posted on the NOACC website. So in taking a look through there, with the minutes from the last meeting, are there any additions, corrections, or anything that you see off the bat? Having heard none, they are accepted. In reviewing the treasurer's report, are there any questions about the treasurer's report? Very good. If not, they will be filed for audit. Over $30,000 was distributed last year to chambers just through the programs with Anthem Benefits One, Independence Business Supply, and FedEx. That is a lot. That's amazing. These programs help your members save money. They make your chamber membership definitely more valuable. We do have an item of new business. The Mentor Chamber has asked to become a member of NOACC. So by a show of hands, can we please accept them as a member of NOACC, the Mentor Chamber? Please raise your hand. Very good. So welcome. They're actually, yes, welcome. Please stand up. Give them a round of applause. Thank you. And at this time, I will ask Vicki to come up.
Hi, everybody. Thanks. We have so much to tell you tonight or today. I'm just so excited that you're all here because it'll really make it easier for you to understand everything we're doing. But thank you again for everyone for attending. Especially again, thank you to our sponsor, University Hospitals CompCare. This is a really busy month for them and for you. We're going to be getting information out to you because open enrollment starts on Monday, so we can't talk about it. It's just the rules of the road, but you will be getting information as soon as possible so that you can forward that to your members. So please look for that and do that. University has been a sponsor and worked with NOACC since the beginning of time, as Ann mentioned, way back whenever it started. I can't even remember when we first started the meetings, but we've had a great partnership with them, so please look forward to that information. Starting in my brief rundown with our vendors that I want to speak to just briefly today, the Anthem Chamber marketing plans for 2016 are in progress. We have to reevaluate what we're doing, especially in regards to our new program. So sometime this year, and hopefully it'll be sooner than it was last year, you'll be getting information about that because we still want the chambers to be utilizing their power to promote this benefit to their members because this is something that helps the chamber and helps your member. Now that we're going to have two programs to offer, it's going to be even more valuable. And Anthem itself has other, programs. So whenever you're promoting Anthem, you're going to be working with your local brokers, but there's going to be lots of opportunities for you to make this a big deal for your businesses. And I recommend that you do that. And we'll help, Anthem will help, everybody on the table that's here today and has helped in the past will continue to help. So please look for that, and we'll get that out to you. The Anthem flyers are still available. We gave you a sample in your packets. We have extra. I didn't bring a big ton today, but if you want a handful or so, or let me know and I'll ship a couple hundred to your chamber. We can do that anytime you want, so let us know. All right, I'm going to go and have Peter Young come forward. He's going to do a real brief update. Yeah, I told you were going to do this. I know, I'm going to bring my hook here. But Benefits One Group has also been a partner with NOACC for a long time, and chambers can earn revenue. Your members can benefit from the savings of the workers' comp program. You need to know about this because this is something that your members are looking to the chamber for this information. So, Peter, short.
I'm not Mr. to you?
Yes, you are, Mr.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Vicki. We haven't been around quite as long as everybody else. We've been working with all of the chambers since 2008. I left some brief flyer on your desks this morning, and if I didn't get everybody to get one, I will. You'll note a couple things. This is a partnership between NOACC, all of your chambers, ourselves, and what the Bureau of Workers' Compensation is doing. So this is another wonderful workers' comp thing to start your day out. You'll note, if you have one, insert chamber logo. Those of you who have worked with us, those of you who have invited us out to do meetings, which we love to do, there's a lot going on, but we also will be happy to customize this, provide this to you for your chamber. Some of you do new member meeting packets. We're happy to do these. By the way, we're happy to print them for you in color and ship them to you. So more than happy to help be a part of your team to help your members save money and get information. And I'll be honest with you, that's one of the biggest things going on right now is information. You'll see some numbers in here. We have tried to save chamber members a lot of money over the years with the famous thing called group rating. And group rating is something that TPAs do, not to be confused with MCOs. By the way, MCOs only go into open enrollment once every 2 years for 1 month. So be honest with you, show them some love next week. For a month, you only have one shot at them. We get to work with you every year. You don't have to have a TPA, so we need to show you value and your members' value. You must have an MCO. So we're going to try to save money and educate your employers. So that's a really critical piece that we get to do. The other thing is, if you do hire us, unlike an MCO that has to be the nice guys in the Bureau system, we get to be the pit bulls of your chamber and your chamber members. By that, I mean we go to bat for you in hearing representation, saving money. God forbid you've got somebody that contests a claim. We will try to be there for you in every fashion. That's what you hire us to do. So let's talk about what's new going on. I have another 2 minutes? Okay. Every year, group rating, the famous thing that we all do, where companies get to join a process, get into a large pool of employers, save up to 53% of their savings, of their premium rather. That's great savings. That's what drives some of the numbers in here. But I'll be honest with you, that is only part of the story every year. Maybe you are not aware that you can save your members an additional up to 20% savings by joining other programs. And guess what? The Bureau confuses everybody by putting that through an open enrollment that ends May 31st every year. So there are little savings programs in safety, drug and alcohol testing, return to work. Those programs are open in open enrollment right now. Second thing we can do is, maybe you are aware or not, that every one of your chamber members is eligible for up to $60,000 of grant money from the state of Ohio to implement programs, many of which we can help with. I put on the table over there some information about those grant programs. Really critical. It's, I hate to say free money, but all of your members have paid for this stuff. You might as well get some return on your investment from the Bureau. Happy to come out and talk. Happy to send information out about that. Please utilize me. I unfortunately am all over the place all the time, so cell phone is the way to get me, but please go through and let me help your members understand what's up. I guess the other big area that's going on this year is the change over to this new prospective billing mess. And I'll be honest with you, it has not been a very easy process to switch everybody. This is a Bureau thing, don't blame us, but this is a Bureau thing that they had everybody pay in advance for their premiums. Has gone relatively smoothly, but it is not easy to understand. And the Bureau now is going to start this summer having what they call the reconciliation process, which means you're going to have to make sure that what they've been billing you and the estimates they've used are correct. So you've got to reconcile that to what's actually been your payroll. It can create some new changes for you, but I will warn you that, and your members, that if they don't heed it and don't do it correctly, they could lose 2 years of group rating discounts. The Bureau is going to really penalize folks for not playing the game correctly. So I strongly encourage you, let us help you. I can get information out to you about it. And more importantly, love to come out and talk in front of your chambers. So find some time for me, happy to do it. That changeover starts July 1st. It's due August 15. So time is of the essence to understand how that works. So I think that's probably brief enough, and welcome a chance to talk with you. Thanks.
Thanks, Peter. We had such a full agenda, that's why I needed to have everybody do brief remarks, and me too. Also, if you can't hear us, let us know, because this microphone doesn't seem to be as loud as we'd like it to be. So next in your packet is a flyer from Independence Business Supplies. It's a new flyer. The program's the same, still a great program. Chambers are making money with this program. Sometimes all you need is like one law firm to sign up, and they use a lot of paper, and chambers are seeing the benefit of that. I know you have local people that do it, and there's some national providers that do it. Independence Business Supply is a local guy. I'm sorry, it's a big company, but they're local, they're in Ohio, they've always been in Ohio, but they can service the whole state. They actually have national accounts. So I'd look into it if you haven't already, because it could be another revenue stream for your chambers, and definitely a savings program for your members. And there's no reason why you can't offer more than one program to your members. I mean, they'll appreciate it, why not? The FedEx program by partnership continues to grow. I am so excited about this. In fact, the Willoughby Chamber couldn't come today, but I just heard that they did a great little marketing campaign, and ended up with 5 or 6 additional people that never heard about this before, even though we've had it for so many years. So sometimes it just takes a little push from you to let people know this is a benefit they can take advantage of. It's a national program. You can't get FedEx anywhere else but FedEx. And so the people that use it, and some of your members are using it already, they can transition to this program and very simply and save additional money. They'll look at the program that account has, and if they can save them more money, they'll put them into our program, and almost every time they're able to do that. So please encourage your people to take advantage of it, and they'll do your flyers and logos on your flyers, so you can use them at your handouts and membership packets. So take advantage of them. This is why they're here for you. Okay, we have Rick Davidson is going to come up and give us a brief overview of Community Energy Advisors, which is a specially designed chamber electric and gas aggregation program. Rick and Sarah are here today and can explain how the program works, but can also sign your chamber up. And that might be something you really need to do and get going on. Right, Rick?
Good morning. My name is Rick Davidson. I'm one of the principals of Community Energy Advisors, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the energy program that we have through NOACC. On your tables, you'll see a brochure, and it goes through all the details of the program. But in a nutshell, the reason why this program is a little different than a NOPEC or any other broker, or even COSI, is that what we do is we aggregate all of your members together. So what we do is we take the small accounting firm, we aggregate them with a lawyer, a dentist, a dry cleaner, a restaurant, and what we do is we put them together every month and we take them to the market and we shop the market. And what they look like is a small manufacturer from a load perspective. So we are saving the customers between 20 and 30%. And let me give you an example. So if you're in a NOPEC community, currently NOPEC rates are about 7.5 cents for the year. We're able to get a rate of 5.9 cents. The average restaurant uses 300,000 kilowatt hours. That's $4,800 per year in savings to that restaurant. The great thing with that is that drives new enrollments for you guys, because we have campaigns that we're running. One of the campaigns is, are you paying too much? Simply look at your bill, and if you're paying more than 5.9 cents, you're paying too much. Call us. The other one is, let your energy savings pay for your chamber dues, and we're running that campaign next, because we want to grow membership for you as well, because it's a benefit. So we provide a large banner stand, we provide a small stand, we provide all the marketing materials, we provide email templates, everything you need to get rolling, you have at your fingertips, and we run all the campaigns and we cover all the costs. But the value to you is that it's an 18% reoccurring revenue back to you every month, and we do 2-year contracts. So every month for the next 2 years, you're going to get 18% of that commission, and then when we renew the customer, you continue to get the 18%. So not only are you driving value for the customers, but it's also bringing revenue back into the chamber. So we're going to stick around afterwards as well. So if you guys would like us to come out and have a one-on-one meeting and share with you how the program works, we would love to do that. And let's get started. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. We're actually doing really well on time, so this is good because we'll have time for questions afterwards. And we have asked all of our vendors and suppliers to stay afterwards so that we can have one-on-one roundtable discussions for your questions, because I'm sure if you have that question, somebody else will have the same question. And we'll have a question and answer section right after our presentation also. Is Keith Latour here? He was definitely going to be here. Keith? No. Well, I can't really do what he does. Keith is the owner, the creator of Save Local Now. If you've been here in the last 2 years, you've heard a presentation from Keith, so you kind of know who he is. And you have to pretend I'm him. Just briefly, Keith and I talked this past week, and there are about 50 chambers that are signed up with Save Local Now. 2 more just signed up recently. And I think this is going to be the year for even more chambers to want to get involved. They have some new developments that are going to make it easier for the businesses to participate, easier for the chambers to help their businesses with it. If you haven't signed up already for it, you sign up, but then you do want to do a little bit of marketing on this, because the program is very user-friendly and speaks for itself, but they will help you. They will have webinars. They can do training programs for you. A lot of chambers have created their own apps for their communities, and I applaud them for that because those are valuable. But this is more universal. This is where you have a Save Local Now and somebody, plugs into it, and as they travel, even across the United States, wherever Save Local Now it is, if they hit that app on their smartphone, which is what it's designed to do, they'll get the latest information from that chamber that's feeding that app at that point in time, wherever they are. So I encourage you to look into it if you haven't already. If you've already signed up, get back on board and start looking at some of the new things. I don't know even what this screen says because I just plugged it in because Keith was supposed to be here. But yes, the new mobile interface, that's the most exciting thing. It used to be that you had to do everything from your desktop. Now the local pizza shop or dry cleaners or whoever can go in there and put up a deal right from his phone, wherever he is. So that's going to be exciting. That's coming out within the next couple of weeks or so. And I don't know if he has something. Oh, no, never. Okay. He was going to talk more about that. But I recommend that you look into it because it is still growing and it still offers a great deal of value for your chamber. We are also going to reintroduce it, so to speak, to the chambers, both who have signed up and who want to sign up, or even some of your benefits people. We're going to have a regional meeting. It's scheduled for, well, we didn't do the schedule yet, did we? Probably at the end of May. We're going to have one that will invite everybody to come to, and it'll be a great opportunity for you to do a one-on-one with Keith and, again, learn how to do this. And I'd bring some of your most IT-worthy, conscious people from your chamber because they get it. When, you and I, well, I'll say me. Maybe I'm not technologically advanced. I try to stay on top of things, but your IT guys, your people that are using the internet and using Facebook and Twitter and Google and all that, they're the ones that really get this program, and really you need to help them help you and your chamber. So bring them to that meeting. And we'll send that date out as soon as it becomes available. Just one last thing. As we've all been talking here, all the NOACC benefits, including we have others, the credit card and payroll processing, the wellness programs, and again, especially the Save Local Now, which is a digital integrated marketing program. Think of it that way. They're all designed to help your members and your chamber with member attraction. The whole point is join your local Chamber of Commerce because you'll find it there. So keep that in mind. We're always using that message, and we encourage you to use that message because even if you don't get a member for you that day, you might, next week or next month, or maybe you'll help a local chamber, and everybody can start appreciating the value of chambers by doing that. But you have to be proactive. You really have to work at this to make it successful for your members. So all the information, marketing materials, forms, ads, we always have them available as a download on the NOACC website, but you can also ask for extra ones to be sent to you. And again, these programs have been designed to offer you non-dues revenue. So look at it that way. This is money in your pocket. I'm always amazed when I talk to a Chamber of Commerce and they're setting up another fundraiser, and it's like a clam bake or a golf outing. They're fun, but it's another fundraiser they have to do a lot of work for. These are all fundraisers. Just plug these into your chamber and utilize them because then you're helping your members save money as well as you earning money as a fundraiser. So think of it that way. Maybe that'll help too. Also, we have, and get testimonials. I hear them occasionally. Make sure you're telling your members who's using what, and even if it's not one of these benefits, just get testimonials. They're the best way of advertising. We do have the NOACC brochure, which I have extra copies out in the desk outside. So pick up some extra of those, or again, I'll ship them. I have one chamber every year puts them into her invoices for renewals, which is terrific because, again, she's showing the value of her chamber with the additional products that we all have to offer for her members. So it's a great way to promote the value of your chamber membership and, again, the NOACC partnership. All right, now I think I'm finished. So now it's back to Cindy, and on with the rest of the show.
All right. Well, it's my great pleasure to introduce the folks that are going to talk about our next program. And this is the SOCA benefit plan, the MIWA. So you've been getting some emails on this, probably wondering what the heck this program is, what's going on. So today we're going to talk about it, but I'm going to give my testimonial first with this particular program. It hasn't even officially launched yet, and I've already gotten a new member at the Beechwood Chamber because of the program. So for me, it's amazing. The program's going to blow you away. You're absolutely going to love it. But I would like to introduce John Wayne. He is with the Alpha Insurance Agency. He's going to give an overview of the SOCA benefit plan. And actually, in the room, who knows what SOCA actually is? Is everybody? That's what I figured. It's the Southern Ohio Chambers, and we have Matt here. Matt, stand up. Thank you. And he's going to come up and talk about the MIWA. So there's my next question. What does MIWA stand for? You got it. Multiple Employer Welfare Association. I didn't know that until this all started either. This particular program has been many years in the making. They've been working on this program actually before I even came into the chamber world. So it's definitely amazing. John's going to give a brief summary and remarks regarding the MIWA, and then he's going to introduce Jane Peterson with Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. She's going to give a little more of an in-depth review of the MIWA, and then we're going to actually have some questions and answers afterwards. So if you have some questions you want to ask, write them down as we're going. That way you can ask them at the end. John?
So let's talk about the Alternatives to the Affordable Care Act. As an agency, we represent probably 1,000 clients in Northeast Ohio. We think this is a great program for small business communities throughout the state. NOACC has partnered up with SOCA, together bringing our dynamics together to be able to go to the state of Ohio and make something work within the guidelines of a MIWA, multiple employer welfare arrangements. So we're going to do that together with SOCA, but it's great for the small business community, and I will tell you this, it's tremendous for every single chamber that's part of it, for two reasons. Number one, it helps you retain your chamber relationship with your current clients, which is wonderful, and we think it's going to be just a knockdown, drag-out attraction tool for bringing all those small local businesses back into the chamber realm. So we think it's a good thing, and we'll talk a little bit about it. I'm going to get into kind of an overview and something we've been working on this with SOCA. We've been working with Consolidplex for about the last 3.5 years putting this together. I will tell you, it was a legislative nightmare to get it together. Thank God Anthem stepped up to the plate and really brought their talent and resources to help make this happen. So let's talk about it. You have 50 or less employees. That's probably most of our chamber membership falls into that category, 50 or below. We know that traditional insurance premiums are going to change. We didn't know how much they were going to change, but we knew there were going to be additional fees and taxes. We kind of expected that. We kind of expected the fact that the risk and rates would be a little disconnected, and we'll talk a little bit about why that's the case. Whoops. I'm sorry. Well, we'll just keep going on it then. The top button? Okay. That's what happens when you got fat fingers. We should have known this, or we should have expected this. We forgot that it was Washington involved, but we weren't anticipating the politics involved. We weren't anticipating the delays, the changes, the special arrangements that were being made, what the government was trying to do to stay politically active while trying to keep this thing operational and running. So we know that that means that the groups out there, the small business community, they needed to find a way to say, how do I get back to charging me a rate based on what my risk is? And we think the groups continue today to continue to explore the need to find alternatives to saying, maybe that whole Affordable Care Act isn't going to work for me. Maybe the community rating is not going to work for me. I have some issues. I need to find other alternatives to the marketplace. This MIWA brings you, the chambers, and your chamber memberships, those alternatives to consider. Let's briefly talk about how rates are determined today. So if anybody in here is actively buying insurance, these are how the rates are determined today. You basically start out with the base rate. Anthem, every carrier may call it something different, a table rate, a street rate, a base rate. But you start out with the base rate, and then you start adjusting it. And you adjust it for the risk factor, which is the medical risk. What kind of risk is the carrier probably taking on with your membership group? Whoops. And then you start modifying it for age, location, gender, SIC code, location. That's the current structure that we have today that we've all grown up with. So if you have members or your organization is grandfathered or grandmothered, this is the structure that the carrier uses to establish your monthly premium. Pretty straightforward. What's going to happen under the ACA rating structure is a little different. And it's already started, but for groups that are grandmothered and grandfathered, they haven't experienced it quite yet. But what's going to happen is you still have a starting point, which sounds pretty simple. That's the way it was kind of proposed initially. We're going to have a starting point. But our modifiers are a little different now. So now our modifiers are going to be age, which they were before, zip code, and tobacco. You notice we got rid of, not we, but it was eliminated for the gender issue, the SIC code issue, the risk. There's no risk factor in there. Are they taking on groups that have some medical problems or a history of them? So all of a sudden, you can kind of anticipate if we've eliminated some of the variables, what's going to happen. And we'll talk briefly about a couple of those. So what's going to happen is age-adjusted community rates. And it's exactly what the title is meant to be. The rates are based on the book of business the carrier has from a loss ratio and the age of your group, with an impact on tobacco. So, what is it? We'll get into it a little deeper, but I think the two oxymoron questions, can it help me or can it hurt me? And the answer to both of those questions is maybe. Maybe it can help you, maybe it can hurt you, but it's going to be very, very group specific. I think this quote kind of sums it up. It came from Anthem a couple years ago when they started to evaluate these situations. I actually think the 50+% is probably low. I would have probably put 60% in there as what small groups are going to see for the most part when this whole thing finally rolls out. You know, right now we're in transitional relief, so if you're a grandmothered or grandfathered group, this doesn't impact you until 1/1/18. But when it hits, it's going to hit pretty hard. We're not going to get into a lot of detail. I eliminated a lot of the factors, but I think this kind of highlights, in a pretty quick sense, what we're looking at. See if I can make this work. So we have two companies, Company A and B. They both have the same medical plan, $1,000 deductible. Pretty common. Company A, average age is 31. It's a manufacturing plant, bunch of young guys in the shop. Company B maybe is a little more traditional, average age 54. If you take a look, very healthy, low claims experience. You look at Company B, not so lucky. You know, have some claim issues. They've had some ongoing issues, probably because they're older average age. They have more claims going on. So under the current development, we can kind of do a very quick comparison and say, well, if I'm Company A, my plan's the same as Company B, but look at my average age here and look at my risk. Jane Peterson can talk a little bit about it, but when a carrier hears they have a low risk structure, that's great news because then they can get really competitive with the rates. But Company B, older average age, and they haven't done so good medically. They've just got some things going on, and that happens at companies. So these two examples will go back to my statement about can it help me or can it hurt me? Now, first thing everybody in the room says, there's nobody paying a $75 rate. We wanted to keep the numbers relatively easy, so we could probably put a 3 in front of that if we wanted to, but everybody knows nobody's paying $75 today for premiums. But take a look at the differential relative to each other. Company A, $75, Company B, $200. Older, not doing as well medically, have some challenges using the plan, tougher group to write. Well, let's talk about what happens now with ACA, because the next two slides, my final two slides, are the key slides for the presentation. If you take a look, the plans A and B both have the same deductible, pretty good, but you take a look at where the age lines were and now where they are, because what happened under Affordable Care Act, we used to be able to have a 6 or 7 factor between ages, so the lowest charged employee could be 1/6 of the highest charged employee. So based on age for the most part and gender, that's the way it worked. Well, under ACA, the age adjustment factor is about 3 to 1 now. So all of a sudden, my young person can't get but 1/3 of what the highest paid person is paying. So now what happens? Do you either raise the lowest rate up or do you bring the highest rate down? Because your factor is still 3. And if you take a look, what happens under ACA, and back to my, will it help me or hurt me? If I'm company A, I just saw a 53% increase in my premiums. Same employees, same plan, same benefit, I got a 53% increase. So I'm the company saying, hey, I think that's going to hurt me. If I'm company B, I'm a happy camper, at least for now. Because all of a sudden now, I think the Affordable Care Act, I'm one that says now it could help me. Because I just reduced my premium 10% because of the blending of age and risk in the marketplace. Now, here's one thing we all know for certain. When you have a scenario like this, what's going to happen? Company B is going to run as fast as they can to the Affordable Care Act. They want to be part of it. They want their rates fixed. They want a rate reduction. They want some help. Common sense. I don't blame them. I would be the same one running if I was Company B. But what happens to Company A? They're running away from the Affordable Care Act. They're either going to delay it, they're going to try to get out of it, they're going to look at alternatives like self-funding, PEOs. They're pretty active in the marketplace. MEWAs, they're going to look at those as well. So our goal is to help you with those clients, your clients, that if they're the Company A clients, we want to give them a place to go to. We don't want them dropping out of the marketplace, losing their employees. You know, the worst thing that happens to a company is you go to your employees and say, hey guys, we're Company A. We just got a 20% rate increase, and guess what I'm going to do next month? I'm dropping the insurance. Can't afford it. That's bad for the business, bad for the community, that's bad for your chamber members, that's bad for the chambers. So we want to give them options to take a look over here and say, okay, if I don't want to drop coverage, I don't want to delay it, what are my options? And that's what Jane Peterson is going to get into from Anthem. We're going to talk about the options on how you can help your chamber, you can help your chamber memberships with options to look at. And everybody in the room is going to have clients who are Company Bs. There's going to be some companies that say, hey, I can do a little better, I'm going to go into it. The majority of our clients, your clients, are probably going to be Company As. Because when the grandfathering continues to falter, when the grandmothering gets taken away, 1/1/18, we're going to have a choice to make. And companies are going to be making this choice right here, saying, okay, what do I do? We're hoping, and we're going to help you reach out to your clients to bring them in to show them some options. Make sense so far? I mean, that's kind of a brief overview, and I will tell you that my discussion and Jane's discussion easily could take 90 minutes to get done right. But what we're going to do is we're going to shorten it up. We're going to pass out the Q&A cards. You can ask questions on the cards. We'll try to get to them. We're going to stay after from Alpha. Kevin McKay is here from Alpha. Steve Orlando, Mark Malin. We're going to be here to meet with anybody who wants to meet and try to get questions answered. Jane has a very robust team of Anthem folks here. Matt Appenzeller is here from SOCA to help. So we have a lot of talent to help answer your questions. Patrick Kennedy from Consoliplex, one of our consultants, is here also, one of the key helping guys to get this put together. So Jane, if you want to come up and kind of get into it, and what we thought we would do is let Jane get into more details of the program, the SOCA, NOACC relationship, and then hopefully we'll have 10 or 15 minutes at the end that Jane and I can combine and do Q&As and try to get as many questions answered as possible. And I will tell you this as a leaving comment. Our goal here with Anthem, with SOCA, with NOACC, is to put a team together to help you, the chamber members, roll this program out, educate your members as to your options. There's other brokers that have it as well. I think Jane will talk a little bit about that. But we have 54 people ready to help you with your chamber development.
Thank you, John. I just wanted to take 2 seconds here because what John just said was really what I was going to say. This is not a quickie. This happened over a long period of time. I remember being in the chair in recovering from my hip surgery 3 years ago when John called and told me about this great, wonderful thing that was going to happen for NOACC and the chambers and small businesses and how excited he was. And then it started working after that. It's been weekly teleconferences and everybody that is involved. And Tony, he's been telling you about this for the last 3 years now, right, Tony? He's been excited about it too. He stayed on as chairman, actually, just to see this through, and he's handed it off to Cindy at a good time too. But Tony, we want to thank you for your leadership too, and continuing to bring this thing to the chambers, because this is how important it was to everybody. But with John Wayne and the Alpha Agency and all their work, and Anthem, of course, I mean, we couldn't have done it. That was my first question to John that day was, is Anthem on board? Because we're not doing it without Anthem. So with Anthem doing, being the partner that they've been, we wouldn't have gone forward without that. John reassured me of that. Then Consoloplex. I don't want to forget thanking George Statlander, who couldn't be here today, but Patrick is his second in command, and he really did create this program, and he brought it to John, who brought it to Anthem, who brought it to me. It was a really true partnership. And of course, SOCA. Where'd Matt go? SOCA, there he is. And some of you know Matt from CCEO, SOCA being the Southern Ohio Chamber Alliance. Matt is really thankful for Matt taking the leadership over, because, as they said before, it had to be just one group name. We did try to make it the OCA benefit plan, the Ohio Chamber Alliance, but it needed to be a group that was organized already. And the hope and the goal here is that maybe down the road, the group is going to get so big that we're going to have to split off, and it'll be each of us will have our own separate group. But for right now, due to resources management, that it had to be this way. So we're all for that. And so that just means the chambers in Ohio are going to be working even more closely together. This is going to make your chamber more relevant to your businesses than I think anything we've ever done. I think this is going to be the most exciting thing. So you don't have to know go through a 4-hour training deck. When they say that, they mean your brokers are going to be learning about this, but you need to know where to send them and how to talk about this, because it's going to be good. You can't answer a question, send it off to us, me. I won't maybe know the answer, but I'll send it off to Anthem or the appropriate person. John, you're going to get a lot of phone calls from us, okay? Yes, Tony.
Just real quick, the Affordable Care Act was supposed to be the demise of our chambers because we were going to lose all these people. And because of Anthem and because of the hard work of Vicki, kind of keeping us on point for this MIWA, we're going to have something that's going to offer, that we're able to offer our chamber members that should benefit us in ways that we did not have for the longest time. So the fact that we're going to still be able to offer something that has the Anthem brand associated with it, that's up there with Coca-Cola and McDonald's and everything else. So I definitely want to thank Anthem for choosing to continue this relationship that we've had with them since the beginning of NOACC, and Vicki for keeping us on point. I sat through countless meetings. If some of you zoned out at some point here today, there were 2 and 3 hour meetings that we sat through where we talked about very, very specific things. So I'm glad that we can still be associated with it. NOACC, I'm glad I was able to be a little bit a part of this as well too. But all of this goes towards NOACC, SOCA, and Anthem being able to work with the chambers and giving us something really good to offer our members that allow us to go out there and continue to get new members to join our chamber. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Again, thank you, Tony. And one last thing I didn't mention was also your broker community. Your broker community, I know it's going to start with just the elite and champions, but down the road, they're all going to want to in on this, because this helps them too, bring new business for them. As Cindy mentioned before, I've heard other chambers tell me that they've received new members. Some of them have been brokers who have joined their chamber to become more active, and we highly encourage that because it is a good relationship. All right, thank you very much. And we have just a few more things. We ran out of time to do roundtable discussions, I think, today, but you're welcome to stay here. You're welcome to network with each other, and just give us another minute or two to finish up our slides. Cindy, we have just a couple more things to tell you, but they're quick.
All right, well, very quick, one of our vendors that is here that didn't get a chance to speak earlier is Keith Latour from Save Local Now. So I'm going to have him come up real quick. I know he had a couple of slides here. Keith, come on up. I want you to explain the slides for us. You can skip that one. Okay. One down.
Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm late. My boy, I think most of you know, have seen me. I have 4 children, and my boy just turned 1, and he was not cooperating this morning. So needless to say, I had to stay home a little bit longer than expected. But appreciate, real quick, I just want to talk about some really exciting updates to Save Local Now. We've talked to a lot of your members that have partnered with Save Local Now that are using it. We've actually, over the last 6 months, done a ton of little breakout groups to find out what can we do better, what can we do more of, what do you really want from us as we move forward. And one of the biggest challenges that was pointed out was we can't really do this from our mobile device. You know, it's hard, it's not really easy. So we are in the process of building probably the best mobile user interface for digital marketing that you'll ever see. And it's going to be done in about 4 weeks, and we're going to release that to you through some regional meetings. But it's going to allow businesses to control everything they do through one mobile interface on their phone or tablet in about 90 seconds. So it really takes the power right there, no need for a desktop computer anymore, and really allows them to do other things, which is upload videos, upload their menus, upload product and services, as well as multiple pictures. So really take control of their profile. And then when they do create content, we are now built an affiliate relationship that's going to take that content and show it to 70 million people every day. Across the country, here in the state of Ohio, through hundreds of affiliates. And then also, we just recently formed a partnership with Valpak, who's in the print business. And no, we don't do print, but Valpak does it, and they do it very well. And so we've worked out some really great pricing that's going to allow your members to take advantage of Valpak if they want to. That's better than what they're getting from their franchises right now. And they're going to be able to order and participate in that program directly through Save Local Now. And then electronic gift cards, this is another big one. We are piloting a program in Canada right now with one of the biggest e-gift card providers, which is going to allow all of your businesses to create electronic gift cards, offer them, and redeem them through Save Local Now. Put buttons on their website to offer them through their offers, email them through our email marketing platform. Really powerful tool. Instead of, I know you've all had the experience when you go to especially a small merchant that goes in and you fill out the gift certificate, then you come back and redeem it, and they cross out $50 and move it to $39.62. You lose that gift card. Now it will all be tracked online. They can gift cards. They can do promotionals, offers through that. So really powerful stuff. And then the other big announcement is we're going to introduce the SLN Marketplace here in about 8 weeks, which is going to save your members a ton of money on the things that they buy. I'm going to leave it at that, but we formed some very, very strong partnerships that's going to allow them to come through us to buy a lot of stuff for 30 to 90% off. So just really, really exciting things coming down the pipe. We're going to announce all this at a regional meeting in your area and really talk you through this, walk you through this so you can educate your members. And we got some really, really interesting marketing stuff coming down the pipe as well. So anyways, I just wanted to take 5 minutes to tell you what's going on, and you're going to get some emails from Vicki, from Cindy about the upcoming regional meetings. And again, thanks you all for your partnership, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you very much. All right, well, as we wrap up, I do want to talk about the NOACC Chamber Exchange, which is the events calendar that is located on noac.org. Oh, it's right up there. Steve Petty has been working very hard on getting some updates for us, making this more interactive. We've been looking at the back end of it. It's wonderful. It's gorgeous. So we're excited to get this rolled out. You can find it at NOCCE.org. That is where you will be able to post your events, things that you have going on. If you don't have a login or may have forgotten your login, there'll be an area there that you can request that, and we'll get that to you. The Bright Star event in the fall semi-annual meeting will be Thursday, October 27th at the Pro Football Hall of Fame located in Canton. I know, we're very excited. Attendance will include free admission that day to the Hall of Fame, so you'll be able to go through the Hall of Fame. And they've been going through some major renovations. I know they did over the past few years. I think they're actually doing some more renovations $500 million. Wow, that I did not know. It's pretty bad. I live down the road from it. I've never been through it, so I'm very excited to actually get a chance to go through that. So mark your calendars, October 27th for the fall semi-annual meeting and the Bright Star event. The vendors will stay after, those that are still here, so feel free to come by. Community Energy Advisors, CompCare. I know that Keith will be here, the Alpha Group, if you have some more questions regarding the SOCA benefit plan. We'd like to thank New Image Media again for videotaping today's meeting, and look for that online. Thank you again to Kalahari Resorts for taking such great care of us. And that is actually all we have. Please be very careful driving on your way home and have a safe summer, and we will see you in the fall. Thank you.